Hi, and welcome to the next part of our keto discovery. I want you to understand this. So if you are, off with the birds, come on back in because this is the whole key. This is so important. We're going to talk about insulin resistance and why that's important and how it actually works. Now, in order to understand this, we just need to understand a few mechanisms because this is central to everything. It's probably the cause of the fact that you're struggling. It's the cause of your lack of willpower. It's the cause of mine anyway. I'm just assuming that you might be struggling with that because insulin resistance is around everything. So if you're struggling with stubborn weight that doesn't want to leave, it's probably insulin resistance. If you are struggling to lose weight, you are probably insulin resistant. And most of us don't know we are insulin resistant, but you'll see it turn up in cravings and mood swings and all of the tiredness and the brain fog as well. If you've fallen off any diet ever, it's probably due to some form of insulin resistance. I know I was always hungry. So it's the number one cause of most of today's issues. So let's have a little bit of a look at how this actually works. So in order to understand that, we need to understand insulin. Now, insulin is a key. Insulin is a key to unlock the cell, to allow fuel into the cell. It literally works like a key. So it opens the door and this fuel that we ingest, glucose, carbs, protein, whatever, comes down into the cells. But what happens is that when we spike our blood sugar or we eat carbs or sugars over and over and over and over again, food pyramid, what happens is it actually blocks. The cells become blocked and they become insulin resistant. So they don't absorb the fuel anymore. And your liver has to make more and more and more insulin. So, picture somebody talking to you and they're like, meh, 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 meh. And you're like, and you can tune them out. That's what happens to cells and insulin. And the higher our blood sugar is and the more it is spiked, the more deaf our cells get. Hopefully that makes sense to you because it's a key. What happens is not only do the cells become insulin resistant, you can't get any nutrition in there. So it won't allow any of the protein or in there or any of the vitamins and minerals and, potassium, super important. So when the cells can't get fuel and you've got a locked door because you've got a gatekeeper there, being insulin, your cells are hungry. And they're telling you to eat because they don't actually have enough food because the food and the nutrients can't get into the cells. Over time, what happens, so insulin's role is to actually open that door, take the sugar out of your blood and to store it. But what happens is when it can't get it into the cell, it starts to store it in other places and it'll start to pack it around your wobbly bits. So then we end up with fatty liver and we end up with, fat around our internal organs as well. Hope that makes sense and I'll explain more in the next video.